Okay, so someone in Hinman does not know how to do dishes. And these have been down here for weeks, probably a month by now. So I thought I'd give you guys a tutorial. Step 1, turn the hot water on. Hot water kills germs.
Favorite soap is Dawn. It's trusty, and it saves lots of animals. This is also 79 cents. So if the reason why you didn't do the dishes was because you couldn't afford the 79-cent Dawn dish soap, then please knock on my door at any time and you can borrow it.
The next thing I'm going to do is wash the sink because I don't know who used this last, but there is like visible food and stuff inside of the sink. So I'm going to wash that first. So I've got my washcloth wet. This is how you open a dish soap container. And then you tip it, and most of the time it comes out by itself, but you can give it a little squeeze. So as I said, I'm just going to wash the sides of the sink, because I don't know who used it last. So I'm just going to wash the sides just to clean it so there's no cross-contamination with the clean dishes. Some nincompoops thought it was a good idea to stick dirty dishes in the drying rack. So the drying rack is also now contaminated. Look. So I'm just going to take the entire drying rack and set it in the sink. This drying rack was contaminated. I brought down my own towel to dry the dishes on. When washing a pan like this, I like to stick a little bit of water in it, just hot water, and then I specifically squirt a little dish soap in there. And usually I would use an SOS pad or a sponge, but I don't know where that sponge came from and I don't trust it. So I'm going to use my clean washcloth.
In this step, you gotta be careful not to get the dirty dish on the clean towel next to you. This is essentially all you do when you wash dishes. You basically just scrub the dish until it's clean. It's a hard concept to understand, I know. Now, to rinse a dish, you just simply stick it in the water. This sink is a little small, so rinsing is a little bit of a struggle.
Next up is this wood cutting board. It's the same thing as the other dish. You basically just scrub until it is clean. Now I'm rinsing it. When rinsing, make sure it doesn't touch other dirty dishes. Because if it touches other dirty dishes, you have to restart your process. Cardboard onto the drying rack. I've decided to show you what was left in the strainer. Someone left this in the strainer. I don't know what it is, but it's gross. And the reason why you're probably like, all those other dishes weren't dirty. They were dirty because they were cross-contaminated and touching this. We have no idea what type of bacteria is growing on this leftover meat. I personally do not feel like clogging our community sink, so I'm going to go to the trusted trash can right next to it and dump the meat in here. Give it a little bang. Look, now all the gross meat is out. Time to scrub. Personally, I've always hated scrubbing strainers, mostly because it's just annoying. See, I learned to do dishes when I was little. I was probably about, I don't know, 4 or 5. But I understand that we all come from different backgrounds, so I can't judge you if you never learned how to do this. We got to keep in mind that our guardians are not here, and we are our own guardians now. As I'm rinsing the strainer, please think about how you are an adult. You do your own laundry. You do your own dishes. So please do your own dishes. And while we're on the topic of laundry, I've noticed that a lot of you don't know to remove the lint from the dryer filter. Maybe I'll do a tutorial on that next. Now that the strainer is all dry, I am putting it on the drying rack. Just like that. Personal safety tip for if you ever do dishes down here or happen to forget one. Please don't leave knives sitting like this. It is dangerous. I have no clue what is in this pan. It looks like someone put straight up paper in there. To get the food out of this one, I decided to scrape it to the side with an already dirty spatula. Either way, it's been here for literally like a month, and that gray stuff is mold. I am currently rinsing this out. The easiest way, I did just scrape out the vast majority of what was in here into this trash, but I couldn't show you that on camera because I only have 2 pans. But I'm now rinsing out the pan because the easiest way to wash a dish is to rinse it out first. I'm giving this pan a minute to soak, so I'm going to move on to washing these 2 dishes in the meantime. I want to point out that while I'm doing these dishes, I am using an excess amount of water that I should not be using. So honestly, yes, I'm harming the planet by leaving the water running, and I am well aware. But if you can't tell by the sarcasm in my voice, I don't want to be down here doing this in the first place. But I don't want all of us to lose our kitchen privileges because the 75 people in Hinman, out of the 75 people in Hinman, the people who did this cannot fess up and tell us who did it and won't do their own dishes. So I decided to do dishes in this kitchen for other people for the second time since move-in day. It's honestly not that hard to do dishes, I promise you. Every once in a while when you're doing dishes, it is important to rinse out your cloth. It can become covered in stuff that you don't want to just be smearing onto other dishes. So that is what I'm doing right now, is I'm wringing out and rinsing off the cloth.
While washing this green dish, I've come to realize that maybe the reason why the person who left all these dishes here didn't successfully clean them all is because maybe they had a stressful class load and some stressful homework. And to that I understand. Everyone deals with stress differently, and maybe they just completely forgot the dishes were here, or maybe it's just the last thing on their mind. And I respect that. But you've had months, and you can't tell me you've been going to class, work, and doing homework non-stop for the last month. Everyone at some point takes a break, and during those breaks you should have come down here and done your dishes. And don't use an excuse like you needed your me time, because everyone needs their me time. And you know what you can do? While you're sitting down here alone doing dishes, you can think and enjoy your me time. I've realized that I sound like a Karen right now. It is never my dream to sound like a Karen, and I'm actually a fairly nice person. I have no clue why I'm coming off as a Karen while I'm doing this, but it just makes me mad, if I'm being quite honest, that I live in a building filled with adults, who most or all of you are probably older than me, to be honest, and you guys can't do your dishes. And I'm not even mad at you. I'm mad at the people who raised you. And I get lots of people aren't raised, they raised themselves because they have bad parents. And in that case, I have to say, it's not that hard to YouTube a video that says how to do dishes. They exist, I promise. I'm pretty sure there's a whole account dedicated to helping young adults who have poor parents, not poor parents, but just bad parents in general, that can help teach kids how to do this stuff. I've used his account. I learned how to change oil through this man's account. So I know you can use it to learn how to do damn dishes. But in case you didn't know how to use YouTube, I've decided to email this video straight to all of you. So next, I'm going to start washing the silverware that was dirty. First is a wooden spoon. And this wooden spoon can symbolize a lot of things. For one, it serves you food. Just like this building serves us the ability to use this kitchen, which we will not be able to use if you keep leaving your dirty dishes down here. Another thing this serves is, I won't go into that. I'll just wash it and show you how to wash it. It's so simple, so easy, so trendy. I'm rinsing it now. Next up is the pie spatula I used to scrape the dirty pan. Girl, put your record on. Tell me your favorite song. Girl, I can't sing. I also don't know the rest of the lyrics to that song. The best time to wear a striped sweater is all the time. Spatula. The spatula is dirty and a little bit moldy. I should start a TikTok account where all I do is chores to teach people who don't know how to do chores to do chores. Next up is a knife. I don't know how to properly wash a knife, so if this is not it, don't come for me. At least it's an effort, unlike the people who dirtied it. See, I have no clue what this plate is, but it's like ridiculously heavy. Girl, put your record on. Tell me your favorite song.
All the basic dishes are now washed and drying. So I'm going to wash this so that the next people who come in here to do dishes can use it, so it's not covered in actual dirt and dust. So yeah, just like that, we're all done with the dishes. See, I've decided to take this time as I tried to get the last of the dirty stains off of this thing to tell you guys that if we don't do these dishes, eventually the RAs will have to. And you're probably like, oh, that's no big deal. The RAs are our bitches and they have to do what we ask. And to that I say, you're an idiot. The RAs are some of the hardest working people on this entire campus by far. They don't get paid enough for what they do and the hours they work. So, they should not have to clean up after adults in a community kitchen. If you've never done dishes before, you don't know that most of the time when you do dishes, they leave lots of water on the counter. So as a courtesy thing, you now have to wipe the water dry. Well, not completely dry, obviously, unless you were smart and brought in paper towels or something. But I did not. You can let dishes air dry, or you can hand dry them. I'm probably going to hand dry them because I don't want to leave my towel down here. I did not make this mess, so I have no clue where the dishes go. So I'm going to pick a spot. Here, here, and there.